Good morning. Financial services are naturally collaborative, and great client relationships come from great client collaboration. It means good communication, sharing data, and including everyone in the process. But the technology that's available to drive client collaboration is just terrible. It doesn't really include the client very well. It's not simple, it's not easy, and it's not really that effective for professionals. It's actually a big problem if you're a financial advisor or CPA, loan officer, or something like that. If you're trying to grow your business, scale your practice, engage with customers and better interact, you really need to be able to leverage technology to collaborate. So we have a solution for that. We're going to show you a couple different examples of our new workspace creation tool. And the way this platform works is any type of professional can create a workspace to share with their client. So I'm going to give you two examples. The first one here is for a loan. So let's say you're a loan officer, and whether you're doing a refi and you want to stay engaged with your customer, maybe prevent them from dropping off before they lock in a rate. In this case, let's say you're working on a new loan. And so in order to really nail collaboration, we found that you had to get three things done. You had to be able to include a wide array of different parties. We met with a lot of different financial advisors and private banks, and they said, look, we've got our own internal employees. We need to involve our clients. Those clients have family. Those clients have third parties they work with. And so at Balance, you see here on the top that James, the loan officer, has invited his client. He's invited maybe different third parties and different folks. And they're all using this workspace to collaborate and interact in kind of this very simple, very easy to use workspace. And so the other component that we learned about is that it has to be very targeted. One of the complaints that we saw with typical client portals, whether it be your online banking account or a financial planning tool or whatever it may be, is the client would log in and really be overwhelmed with information. There's too much there, they didn't know what they were supposed to do, and the advisor is trying to direct them to one specific area. So at Balance, in our workspace tool, you can really focus the client conversation. So you see here the client's landing on a specific dashboard. There's very little kind of clutter. They have a shared file folder. They have a balance sheet where they can fill out assets and liabilities. They also have a spot where we can upload files very specific to what you're working on. There's tasks, different project management tools. You also have integrated chat, messaging, and different communication. And so this really keeps all the different people organized and interacting. Now, the third key about making collaboration work for financial services, you really got to integrate data. And so we do that in a couple cool ways. One here is under notes and references, we've attached a balance sheet. So obviously, if you're trying to do a loan, you need to understand what are the clients, what's the complete financial picture look like that's required to really figure out what you're going to do for that loan. And so here you can go through and your client can fill out this document. You can enter in manual accounts. If you're partners with Yodlee, you can enter in different account aggregation information, and your advisor and your loan officer can get a real timely picture of what's going on in your finances. Let's switch gears and I'll show you a different example. So let's say you have a lot of private bankers or wealth managers that you support, or maybe you run a financial advisory practice. One of the issues that we've run into, obviously, is getting a complete view of client finances and really having that an area where you can interact with your customers. So Ricardo here would be a wealth management customer. So the first thing you see when Ricardo logs in, it looks very different. And James, the financial advisor, can have a completely different workspace set up for Ricardo than he did for his previous client. So when Ricardo logs in, he can see a complete view of his finances. He's got his investments. He can look at his net worth. And James is specifically tuned to this workspace to really focus what Ricardo's doing and what interactions they have. There's also obviously integrated, you can go through and invite family members. Let's say Ricardo and James are working on an estate plan. You can invite a third-party estate planner and have a limited view to the shared workspace. And again, all interactions and communication are really focused in this one environment. Now, the other cool part about Balance is, again, the ability to really focus the conversation. You can really configure, and as you see Andrew's clicking on the left here, all of those different components can be turned on or off or configured to be the primary thing that the client is looking at. Now, the other key piece about making collaboration work in financial services, you really got to integrate all of this information. And all the data and all the activity that's running through Balance is really trying to fill the gap between back office technologies like CRM tools or portfolio reporting tools that an advisor may use and client-facing tools like PFM. And at Balance, we're trying to make our workspace tool as an example of something that fits in the middle, that really drives that engagement and that interaction. Now, another example of collaboration, one of the things that we found at Balance when we were working with different professionals is that typically they either had a question for a colleague, or maybe a financial advisor had a question for an estate planner, or the client to the advisor. Usually had a very specific question on a piece of data. So if you've ever used Evernote or a similar web clipping tool, we have a similar functionality that Andrew's using here, where what you can do is you can find a specific piece of information in Balance. Let's say it's in a report, like in this case our balance sheet, or maybe it's an account balance or a spending report or a bill, a file, it doesn't really matter. You're able to clip that particular data piece and attach it to a note. And in that case, we have kind of what we call a static reference. So it's just a screenshot of that data, as well as you've got the ongoing connection to that data. So you can have a collaborative session around that specific thing. You can comment on it. You can send it as an email. You can ask a question, attach it to a project, do all sorts of different things. So this has just been an example of a couple pieces that you can use our platform for. So we've been live with this. Our platform's been live for 18 months. This is a brand new capability we've deployed to build these custom workspaces. And really, you can create an infinite number of different workspace templates for a variety of different professional service providers, whether you're a financial advisor, tax preparer, bookkeeper, a trust officer. If you interact with customers and you're trying to better leverage data to collaborate with clients, then we think our platform really has a lot of opportunities to improve those client interactions and engagements. What you've seen here is actually our online software as a service that's available today. We've registered about 1,200 financial teams around the US mostly that use our tool. We're starting to roll out some larger enterprise scale integrations where we're working with larger partners to integrate with their back office technology, their client facing tools, and really be that collaboration intermediary. So I invite you to come by our booth. We'll give you a couple more examples of what our platform can do, some different use cases. And again, go to balancefinancial.com. You can sign up, use our workspace on your own for you, your business, or to try it out for what it might look like for your financial team or your enterprise. So I appreciate it, and come find us in the back later on. So have a great day, and thank you so much, everyone.